Good day, everyone. Today I want to talk about over apologizing. Do you tend to apologize for everything, even when it's unnecessary? Well, I've been there and I am still coming from that place and trying to build a stronger center within myself and a stronger center of respect and love, and not over apologizing, especially in situations that don't call for me to. And to understand that this tendency, regardless of where it comes from, right? An old patterned way of responding when you were younger. For me, I always wanted people to like me and to accept me because I didn't like me or accept me. Okay? Coming from that people pleaser background, coming from emotional neglect from my caregivers, not getting all the support that I needed. Okay? So it's definitely important to understand where your behavior comes from for sure, because you get a broader picture and a better understanding of yourself. But what's most important is to not spend too much time there and more time focused on where you are headed, what your new focus is, right? So to acknowledge your issue, where it comes from, now where am I headed? How do I need to act or be in order to feel better and to live a more fulfilling life, okay? And so first I want you to understand that this over apologizing comes from that need, like I said, to be accepted, to be loved, because you're afraid that if you don't apologize, then that person's going to reject you and leave you and abandon you, right? And while it is important to apologize and to acknowledge our behavior in situations, because we all need to be responsible for our behavior, and I truly believe that, okay? And an apology is necessary in those circumstances, right? But you know those situations where you apologize for things that weren't even under your control. It wasn't your fault. I can't think of an example right now. Like maybe apologizing for being late. You met up with somebody and you let them know that something happened with your kid and you had to address the situation and be there for them, or like, yeah, okay, apologize for being late, but don't over apologize. I mean, things happen in life, and like your kid needed you to be there for them. That's one example I can think of, but I'm sure you know what I mean. If you're that type of person where you do apologize for everything afterwards, you're probably like, why am I apologizing for everything, right? Because some things are just not necessary. And also, by you apologizing for unnecessary things, you're also giving off that energy to people, that like people pleasing energy, where you're pretty much saying, you come before me. I don't respect myself, so I'm going to apologize every time that something happened, even if it was out of my control, wasn't my fault. I'm going to apologize for. So that energy also, by being that way, you're also attracting people that could be like narcissistic or controlling and like to have people like you in their life to take advantage of. Okay? So, and another thing that I want to say, when you really think about this aspect of like over apologizing even in situations that are not necessary, every time you do that, you're saying yes to somebody else and saying no and blaming yourself for something that actually wasn't your fault. So in a sense, it's like a like self-neglect, right? Like you're neglecting a child. You're blaming the kid for something that is not even their fault, and you're making them apologize. Would you do that to your kid, or would you do that to somebody else? I hope not. And if not, then why are you doing that to yourself? So funny thing, the brain, whether you're talking to yourself or other people, I mean, it knows it's talking to other people and it knows it's talking to itself, but the words that you use and the energy from which you speak from, like, doesn't know, like your body knows pretty much when you're lying, or knows when you're, so if you're lying or being mean to somebody else, it's almost like your body is taking back that same energy. What was that saying? Something about sticking on shit. Whatever I say to you, or whatever you say to me, bounces off of me and sticks on you, like when we were kids. So it's literally true. So when you are over apologizing for things that are unnecessary, right, you're saying no to yourself. And this body takes your body and your mind and your emotional system, everything takes it as like a hit, as like, I'm neglecting you right now. And then so if you're constantly hitting yourself with this type of energy, then you kind of become like disempowered and you perpetuate this people pleasing energy. So what I want to say to you today is to acknowledge all of this, that which I'm saying. Become aware of it, because awareness is key to change. I'm aware of it. Don't feel bad about it. Take your feeling bad, bunch it up, and throw it out in the garbage. We're not wasting time on that. Okay? So what you're gonna do with this knowledge is start to acknowledge yourself and respect yourself. And in those moments when you're used to habitually or automatically saying sorry, I want you to pause. Pausing is number one with changing the way that you are, changing your mindset, changing your behavior. If you want to change yourself and your life in general, first thing you're going to start to do is pause before you would normally respond in a situation. When you realize you're about to say sorry to something, literally pause. Just be like, okay, and stop the automated response and think about it. Is this actually something that I should be acknowledging about my behavior? Was it my fault? Was it in my control? Right? Ask yourself, do I genuinely feel sorry in this situation that I want to acknowledge the person and let them know that I'm apologizing? Okay? And if you're like, no, I don't feel like this is my fault. I don't feel like I should be apologizing for this. But then you still feel like you need to apologize because you're used to giving that response so that you could also get the response from the other person. Oh, thank you, blah, 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 whatever, that validation from the other person that you're saying sorry. That might come up. So be aware of that. But sit in that discomfort of feeling like, oh, I need that person's validation that I said sorry, right? And it's going to take some time, like with anything. Like I say, it always takes flexing that muscle, like going to the gym or, learning how to play the piano. It's going to take time, focus, and energy. But the more you do this, the better you'll get at it. So pause, reflect, and ask yourself, does this deserve my apology? And if it doesn't, then sit with that possible discomfort of not saying sorry in that situation. And the more you do this, the more you say yes to yourself, and the more you let other people know that this is my line right here. This energetic boundary of, no, that wasn't my fault. I'm not apologizing. And if people have a problem with that, that's also not your problem. Okay? And it's going to take a bit. You're going to feel real uncomfortable maybe with people not feeling okay with your boundaries or your no or your lack of apology. And I'm going to let you know that those people also have an issue with taking accountability for their behavior. And they like people like you that'll apologize for their shitty behavior too. Okay? So that is my advice. And yeah, the more you say no and you don't apologize and you say yes to you, the more empowered you're going to start to feel. It's like raising a kid, right? You teach the child when to apologize for the behavior and when they shouldn't, and when they should let other people take accountability for their behavior. then that kid starts to become empowered. That kid has boundaries. That kid knows their truth. Start raising yourself and treating yourself like that kid, like that inner child within you that needs that guidance. Reparent yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. The more love and respect and empowerment you give to you that you needed way back when, the more that you are going to feel that empowerment. You need to give it to yourself, okay? I hope that resonated with somebody, and I hope that you start to live in your truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be in the beginning. I promise you it will change your life, okay? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, and remember to stay mindful.